You're watching the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Now it's time for the Brent and Austen Show.
Well, there they are, the 10 unknowns. Google them up. By now you have an interesting, intriguing, get-to-know-you time for the Jacksonville Jaguars fan base with a lot of these players. And the Jaguars, like what they did, not a lot of people outside the building are enamored with what they did from a national level. And I think the fan base here is a little bit mixed. In part, okay, the needs, the names we know, where were they, especially on the front end. But in a front office that just went 13-4 in the regular season into the playoffs in year one, they trust. So there's a lot going on here with this draft. And as we know in a lot of drafts, we don't know for the next couple of years. But I laugh at the people that say we can't grade it and dissect it and talk about it, because that's what we do. It's kind of like picking the record for the NFL when the schedule comes out for your team. Yeah, we have no idea, but we're doing it anyway. So how do we feel about it here on a Monday? Brent Martineau, Austen Lane, Jason Hamby. What do you think?
What do I think about the draft?
Yeah,
I think that the Jacksonville Jaguars, I'm not going to grade it because, let's wait and see a couple years. But if you want me to grade it, I'll give it an RS, and the RS stands for Rams Seahawks, because I think the Jaguars are trying to mimic what the Rams and Seahawks try to do. Now, I get it. The low-hanging fruit's going to say, well, they drafted a tight end really early, a blocking tight end. They're trying to copy the Rams. And I'll say you're probably right. But then I'll also say if Anthony Hill's available and they didn't take him, they're trying to copy the Rams defense. They're not trying to copy necessarily the Rams offense. If you know anything about the Rams defense this past season, pretty successful, and not necessarily having the biggest names in the NFL, but pretty successful nonetheless. It's crazy how many people right now are talking on Twitter about, oh, it's the Rams offense, it's the Rams offense. One team last year ran dime personnel over 30%. Guess what team that was?
the Rams.
The Rams. Yep. And once again, when we talk about, did they try to run dime last year? They did, but I think with Caleb Ransaw getting hurt, I think when we look at a little bit of Lloyd, what he was able to do last year was a little bit of a liability, but they took him out on important downs. The Jaguars, ladies and gentlemen, I believe, are going to run dime a lot next year. And no one's really talking about it, so I'll be the first one to say it. Now, I could have put it on Twitter and did a whole breakdown, but then what fun is that, man? Because that's an echo chamber. Everyone's going to take that, roll with it, and everyone's talking about, Jags will run on dime next year. I'll save it for the show, Brent.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, man.
I think it is an important part of this that the Jags are being a bit trendy or setting their own trends. I think you can point to it. Now, I kind of like that. A little debate last night on TV that why do you have to follow the trend? Well, for years and years around here, covering this team for 2 decades, I felt like the Jags were trying to catch up with the trend, not setting the trend or at least on the front end of the trend. So I'll take that because the results of trying to catch up to the trend were short-lived and not sustainable. You could catch up to the back end of the wagon there and then have a good year, but you couldn't sustain it because, that train had left the station by the time you were going to be good for 2 or 3 years, and now something changes. I feel like the Jags are a little bit, at least on time, at this train station, and maybe even in some respects ahead. Now, could be on an island in some respects, too, when some of this drafting, and we'll get to that. But I like what you're saying there about the heavy-set personnel, obviously, on offense with the tight ends and the chess pieces that Liam Cohen wants to use. Yes, that is Rams-like, but it's also an NFL trend happening right now. And then on defense, I think that dime personnel or really the hybrid safety linebacker look, right, that also has in vogue. The Jaguars and Anthony Campanile are going to use that too. And you need some safeties, by the way, or different kind of linebackers to be able to run that.
Without a doubt. I mean, if you break down the Seahawks and what they were so great at last year, and obviously you had Kenneth Walker, which helped out a lot. You had probably the best wide receiver in the NFL in JSN, which helped out a lot. But their calling card, their identity was their defense. And a lot of people, would say they're probably the best defense next to the Houston Texans in the NFL. Well, watch how the Seahawks play defense. And it's crazy because if you look at what the Jaguars were trying to do in the beginning of the season, there was some similarities. Bring everybody to the line of scrimmage, right? Have an extra defender in there, almost like a big dime or a big nickel in there that can play on the line of scrimmage, but that can also has the speed and versatility to cover a tight end, to fall back if he has to. That's where the Seahawks made their bread and butter last year, right? And that's what the Rams did a lot last year as well. The Jaguars did a little bit of that, but then once injuries happened with Travis Hunter, I think that Houston Texans game was really telling just in terms of, all right, they maybe have to simplify it a little more because they weren't ready to maybe get like that crazy in terms of different looks and exotic looks and all this stuff. I think this year with Caleb Branshaw, I think this year with Travis Hunter now saying, you know what, we saw Travis Hunter last year cover tight ends man-to-man, did pretty well. I think it's going to be a lot more dime for the Jacksonville Jaguars because listen, I was the first person to say, why didn't they take Anthony Hill? Right? Like, and like it drove me crazy. Like, you know, when they selected Berkshire, whatever, how are you pronouncing it? Berkshire. Okay, gotcha. Berkshire. I was like, what? Why? Yeah. A blocking tight end, you know, when you had Anthony Hill or, you know, even like a 3 technique there. I mean, obviously, you know, I was questioning it, but then it goes back to in James Gladstone we trust, right? So there had to be some rhyme to the madness. It wasn't just because, well, Liam Cohen had a dream about they drafted him. So you know what? Instead of intangibly rich this year, dreams. No, that's not what the case is. There is a reason for it, right? And there is a reason why they didn't try to go after that linebacker so early on, or even an interior guy. And I think that's the reason. And there's a reason why Devin Lloyd didn't make as much money as we thought he was all going to make this year. Because everyone's talking about right now, it's going to be big tight ends, 2 tight end personnels, 3 tight end sets, all this stuff. No one's talking about how the NFL maybe doesn't really have a need for 2 linebackers like we thought they were going to.
Yeah, and so, you got to counter that, right?
Correct.
Defense are going to have to counter that. So I guess, is that the move that kind of tells you that the most is the fact that they did have Anthony Hill on the board, a guy that everybody knew. We kind of liked him during the Shock Your Mock process, the replacement of Devin Lloyd. Or are there more moves that suggest that too? Or is that kind of the one? I mean, is that kind of the telltale fact that you go get the blocking tight end, where they think there's some upside, obviously, in the pass game that was underutilized, according to them, and where you could have taken the replacement of production for Devin Lloyd? And I mean, is that it? Is that the one that tells you, or is there more to it than that?
I think Jalen Husky tells you that as well.
It does at
right? Because, I mean, if we look at this roster right now, is safety that much of a concern? I mean, yes, maybe for depth purposes, but they have some safeties.
Yeah, I mean, they've got obviously Murray, Ransaw, Antonio Johnson, I would think right now penciled in to be their starting 3. Now, behind them, there's not a ton of depth. I thought they could use some depth at safety.
Yeah.
But go more.
Well, okay. And if you look at Jalen Husky, a guy who I watched a little bit in the Big Ten, obviously, this is a guy who used to be a cornerback, now plays safety. Who does that sound like? Caleb Branshaw.
Yeah, Ransaw did the same thing.
Yeah, my bad.
Caleb Branshaw.
No, you're right. Same thing.
Yeah, and when you talk about what Jalen Husky does well and what he doesn't do well, what did they say when he got drafted? He's not afraid to play in the box, come downhill, and hit people.
Okay. Oh, no, his tape shows that. Yeah.
It's obvious. Right now, maybe in terms of coverage, maybe a little bit of a liability. But once again, I think that would prove of, hey, I think Coach Camp plans on stacking the box a little bit, throwing a lot of safeties or cornerbacks out there, and using more speed necessarily than maybe more linebackers.
Let me ask you this about the whole mimic Seattle and the Rams, specifically Seattle. The one, and I'm not suggesting that you're suggesting that they're going to be as good as Seattle, but if they're running that defense, I guess the devil's advocate to that would be like, well, Seattle's really good up front, right? Already. The Jags need to get better up front. So, I mean, is that part of the equation at all where, okay, before you can get crazy in that back end and start worrying about linebackers and safeties, you better worry about being really stout up front.
Yep.
Or could they just not fix it, too? I mean, at 56, they might not have just felt they could do a whole lot to upgrade.
And once again, when we talk about being up front, I mean, I think Aurora probably gives you the best option than maybe anybody in that draft you would have had at that pick.
He becomes a more important piece
for sure
than in like real time during that trade. Right?
Correct. And now we're going to see with Eric Armstead as well whether
he ain't
or not
going nowhere.
Probably not. But
how could he?
Well, because there's always opportunities for trade. I mean, like Yeah. We're still pretty early on in
the
the NFL
calendar
season,
isn't
Hamby.
done. I would
Like,
suggest that too.
Yeah, we're not done. So who knows what's going to happen with Eric Armstead quite yet? But yeah, right now he's on the roster. Right now you're going to pencil him in as probably your starting 3 technique. But when you look at what the Seahawks do well, I mean, yes, they have a great defensive front, right? And once again, I think Ororo points to you saying, okay, they're going to try to bolster up their interior pass rush a little more. And on the other side of it, it's all about complementary football. I mean, what came first, the chicken or the egg? What do you need more of? A great secondary that can lock people down, or an interior and a front that's going after the quarterback? It works hand in hand. And I think last year you can see, okay, they had some good pieces on defense. Now, could they cover every once in a while? They gave up some passing yards. Right? In terms of stopping the run. Could they do that? Pretty
Very
damn
well.
good job, right? So I think it goes to they're going to rely more on that secondary of shutting people down, and that hope's going to be, you know what, that we can get home with 4 or 5 when we blitz.
Yeah, and I think, Hamby, one important part of this is, like, the Jags don't have an empty cupboard here when it comes to that defensive front. I know we've talked so much about the front, but they're not empty there. They just aren't as dynamic, I think, in parts, especially that 3 technique spot, as they've needed to be elite. Because we think they're actually pretty close to being elite. If Devon Hamilton plays the way he does, you got your 2 edge guys, and then obviously if you can get major impact at that 3 tech spot, then you become very formidable. And by the way, you still need another 4 guys back there because it's an 8-man rotation if you're going to be one of the best in the league. Seattle does that. The best teams do. But I do think we got to be a little careful of that. There's been so much emphasis on trying to get better in that area, and they should. But it doesn't mean they're bad in that spot either. To Austin's point, if they can hold an extra beat in the secondary, maybe that does allow that front to be pretty dang good.
Yeah, it's one of the more interesting things I thought Gladstone said Saturday night when he was asked, what's the difference between the pass rush now and what it was? And he's pretty much said there is none. Like, kind of acknowledged, Obviously, they get Wesley Williams out of Duke, that they have a lot of hopes for, because also he could play the run. He's not just a pure pass rusher. But, I mean, there's not a whole – they didn't really address much. But what Gladstone says is 2 things. One, we still have really good players on the D-line. So exactly what you just said. At the end of the day, they still have Josh Hines, Allen, Trayvon. And to me – I hear Eric Armstead, who can still get to the quarterback. That's what I hear in that. And he said the other part of that is the way that we marry with the secondary, we still believe we can create pressures. That's the 7 guys walking up to the line that we saw all of last year, right, from Campanelli. So it's like he doesn't really, to me, that says he doesn't really believe he needs that much edge depth. He doesn't need a third edge rusher because the 2 guys that he's got, and they can create pressure with scheme. So that kind of explains to me why in the last year and a half there hasn't been a whole lot of, hey, we got to go get a third edge.
Yeah, I don't think they would turn it down.
No, absolutely
but
not.
I just don't think they're going to jump and reach and leap for it, right? I think that would be
so it's not a priority.
Yeah, it's it's not.
It was more of a priority to do other things, which means it wasn't a priorty. You can't have 15 priorities, guys.
Okay, but it's got to be priority when it makes sense to pick somebody in the, how many okay, theoretically, how many edge rushers in the 3rd and 4th round are going to come out there and make a big difference this year? Are going to have over 4 or 5 sacks?
I don't know. Probably not many.
Yeah. I mean, you could do the Grenard trade, if you want, but then that's a money issue for the Jags, right?
The Saints just got Tyree Wilson, who was a top 10 pick for a jugs machine. I think they got a 7th round pick and they swapped the 6th.
Yeah, but there's a reason for that.
I understand that. I understand. I'm not saying I want Tyree Wilson. I'm saying they didn't do anything. The only difference from the playoff game until week 1, as of right now, is Wesley Williams.
On the edge you're talking about?
Yes. That means edge was not a priority.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah, and that's fair. But I think what Austin's saying, I kind of agree with too. I mean, it depends where your hands are tied, also how aggressive you want to be. I don't think if they had some other opportunities, meaning if they had some more cash space, maybe they would have been more aggressive there in free agency. If they were higher up on the board, maybe they would have been more aggressive. And what you don't know, and what I still believe, is the Jags weren't sitting around waiting for pick 56. I think they were trying to move. And again, where's the discipline in that? because you don't just give everything away and move to move. They waited back instead. So
did they get the cat from? I mean, it doesn't really matter, but they got the guy from Washington, too, didn't they? Isn't he an edge?
Later on, yeah. I mean, they threw a couple of darts, but I think even the Duke kid, he's going to be a special teams guy, right? He's got like 5 blocked punts and field goals. So I mean, we know where that will start. Here, that is one of my big takes of this draft. Okay, I was stunned they stayed at 56, but because of the draft capital that they had and where they were on the board, even if they picked the names even if they picked the spots you wanted, the positions, the reality was this wasn't a draft that was going to have immediate impact anyway. When 55 other guys are going off the board before you take a pick, and then another however many before you get to pick 81, I mean, the reality was this draft was not going to add a lot of instant impact. Boom, get excited. We're going to be so much more dynamic. I mean, that just was never really going to happen. Now, could it happen? Yeah, because some of these guys could rise into, wow, look at how good they are. But that is very hard to predict. But even if they pick the names the Anthony Hills and everyone else, sure, could have been a day one starter. And so I had the opportunity to impact. But you don't know. You're not counting on that impact to be major. It's a great unknown. Just more unknown than if you were picking number 22. Like when Brian Thomas Jr. gets picked at 23, you're thinking, okay, that's going to impact right away.
Yeah.
Whoever's picking at 56 or whatever side of the ball, whatever player, you're probably not getting major impact anyway from that player. So that's the one thing I would step back and say is, okay, this wasn't going to be a high-impact frontline draft to begin with. You were going to come in and get depth, role play, and hopefully fill in the holes, no matter who you picked, what names, what positions you picked.
Because it ain't like Caleb Banks or Peter Woods are falling to you.
They weren't.
And obviously when we talk about what we're looking for in this draft, what we're looking for. We're looking for a linebacker to replace Devin Lloyd, and we're looking for a 3 technique. All right. Well,
do either.
Huh?
They did nothing. They did neither.
Because I don't think the 3 techniques were there when they needed them. Like, maybe they tried to trade up. Maybe they loved Peter Woods and tried to trade up for him. Didn't work out, right? So then,
I think they did like Woods.
Hamby's gonna have an aneurysm back there.
How is there no middle ground between the guys that they really wanted?
Because I think Aurora is better than anybody you would have got on that pick.
I understand that, and I hope the same thing. But how does that?
So then, what are we talking about?
But Austin, we sat here on Thursday.
Do you want 3 techniques for depth?
I want somebody.
You got Aurora in the trade.
We sat here on Thursday after the Aurora trade.
And saying, what did I want? I wanted Peter Woods or I wanted Caleb Banks. Do we get those guys?
We all said the fact that they traded for Aurora, we didn't believe that would impact how much they prioritize 3 tech. And we were wrong.
No, I said correct. We were okay. And you're absolutely right there, Hamby. But I also said that I think Eric Armstead's good. What?
That's not surprising to you?
That what?
They didn't draft a single 3 tech.
Because I'm surprised that Peter Woods didn't
How is it just Peter Woods or bust? If it's a priority, you've got to take somebody.
Because right now, where it stands, I think Aurora and Eric Armstead are better than anybody in the top 4, top 5 rounds of the draft that they could have got. Unless they would have traded up and gave the house for.
That's the answer.
So, unless you want to carry 4 3 techniques on game day, it is what it is. Now, am I going to be surprised if they let Eric Armstead go and there's no plan for him and it's going to be Aurora starting? Then, yeah, I'll be shocked and I'll say, well, then maybe you guys should have traded up to get a guy like Peter Woods, right? But until I see that, it is what it is.
Yeah, I agree with, again, I kind of agree with Austen here. If you could get Banks or Woods, then that puts into motion, in my opinion, maybe the post-June 1 release of an Armstead or something like that. But that's what you're measuring with, right? You're measuring with, okay, are we better getting this? Even if we're even, you get a younger player, a cheaper player, all those things. Like, that would make sense. But once you can't do that, well, you just don't get one to get one because now you're just clogging the position. So, again, the 2 big winners here are Ventrell Miller, because right now I got as the starting linebacker, and Eric Armstead, if he wants to be in Jacksonville, because he ain't going anywhere, right? Yeah. So, to me, those are the 2 big winners from a current roster standpoint, based on how this draft plays out. And if you run into some issues, there are other ways to make moves down the road. Which again, this has been James Gladstone showed us that last year. Now made multiple trades after training camp. So keep an eye on that if things aren't working out or if people get hurt. I think the critical part could be, remember, was it 2 years ago with Balky or something when we said, hey, he's got to get some more edge depth?
Yeah.
And they didn't. Mm-hmm. And what's going on? And then who'd they get when they traded him to Seattle? He never played. Gibson, was it? Travis Gibson.
Travis Gibson.
Right? And it's everybody said going into that draft, you don't have enough. And it bothered people. And they were right. They didn't have enough. Is this going to be another example of that? Where it's hey, we kept trying to get you to trade or to make a move to get a good defensive tackle. Why didn't you trade up in the 29th pick with the Chiefs and get him, or the 28th pick with Buffalo and go get Peter Woods? Now we might say that. We might say that. That could be a criticism that comes back, and we're scratching our heads. Ventrell Miller could play poorly. Maybe the linebacker spot is a weakness, and we could be in October saying, had a chance to get Anthony Hill, who's playing great for Tennessee. Mm-hmm. That's the way this works. They're going to either be right or wrong on some of that.
And this is the thing. We're not going to know, honestly, whether they're right. We can sit here and break this down all day, and we could sit here and bring up some mock grades that we think it is, but until we actually see it 2 years from now, we're not going to know how good this draft is.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we're in a position here in Jacksonville now, and whether this is right or wrong, I don't know, but we're on 3 straight drafts of really not getting immediate impact, but actually getting some impact if you are patient with the development. And that goes back to the Brenton Strange draft. Now, Anton Harrison came in and played right away, but the Brenton Strange draft, the Tank Bigsby, who you ended up trading away, but looked like he was going to be a bit of a factor. That was a different reason they traded him away. Parker Washington's involved with that draft, some others as well. So, and that was that 13-player draft, I think it was, for Balky. But some of those guys have really emerged. It just took a while. And now everybody wants to sign Parker and Brenton to an extension. Anton just picked up the 5th year. So, and now even last year's draft with Travis Hunter based on injury, Ransaw injury, Milam some part injury and also clogged offensive line out of necessity, it's going to be a little bit before we see how that one pays off.
Yeah.
So I think this one is exactly like that. This one, the impact is special teams, most likely. And outside of that, we're not going to be talking a lot about this draft class.
Yeah, and I got hammered for saying that there's a 0 immediate impact in this draft class, which I didn't say. That it was bad. That I was just pointing that out. And I got told that Pregnon's starting week 1. Husky's going to play.
You don't think
he's going to compete for a starting
I'm not saying
spot?
he's not going to compete.
So then
I'm saying people are already penciling him in and overreacting. I thought it was a great pick, great value.
That is a good pick.
And
unbelievable value.
Okay, and if we're talking about the value where a guy could theoretically start week 1, which I think he can, what's wrong with that?
I'm not saying that I don't think he can start. I'm saying people are just like, oh, yeah, he's starting week 1. McCurry's just that bad. And
those people don't really know what's going on.
We could get to your point, Hamby. I think your point is on. I just kind of said it. I think you could get to October, November.
You haven't
seen much of these guys outside of special teams.
Yeah.
He's
going to play immediately on special teams, but is he playing defense?
Borgershire will make a difference.
100%.
Now, will he have 20 catches? I don't know, but he's going to make a difference.
Right.
He's going to be in there. Mm-hmm. So
he might catch 8 balls all year, and he might be a difference maker. It's possible.
If you run a certain type of dime, Husky might make a difference right away as well.
Good point. Well, and then injuries. Where does this – and that's where Pregnon, to me, comes into play. You just added a lot of depth there, and you are looking ahead because Ezra Cleveland is in the final year of his deal.
Right.
McCurry is going to be 2 years into his deal, which usually you can get out of that 3rd year. Plus, he's had a back injury. So now you've got a guy that's it was value. People loved it because they'd heard of him. Mm-hmm. They thought they got a steal there, and it also made some sense, going
especially
forward, even if he doesn't play right away.
Yeah, you're looking at a Milam Pregnon 2027.
Hey, I'm just seeing your tweet right now. You got cooked, huh?
You got cooked on that tweet? That's a weird tweet to get cooked on.
It was like, have you heard of injuries?
You know it's bad. Hey, you know it's bad when it's got more comments than likes.
I got ratio.
You know it's
I love
bad
those.
when you got 50 comments and 46 likes.
By the way, it's a lot of times you'll get ratioed on Twitter in tweets that you didn't think you would.
No.
And that's one of them.
I say there was a bad draft. I'm just saying week 1, you're probably not going to see any of these guys.
I have a tough time feeling out Twitter. I know you spend less time out there. I can't tell if people like it or not, this draft.
I don't.
Because for as many people as I see hammer the draft, and they were, I feel like it's more the national people that were hammering that, and the local folks, the Jags folks, feel like, I can see this. I can see the forest through the trees, like that kind of thing.
From someone who's not on it too much, but I was on it during the draft a little bit because I had some time. I think the national media sees the names that they took, and it's like, okay, well, these guys could have been taken a lot later, so it's a bad draft for the Jaguars. I think fans around here see the draft, and it's like, okay, I wouldn't have picked him, and it's kind of weird that they did, but at the same time, why should we not trust James Gladstone? Like, maybe we don't have the foresight to see what the plan's going to be, but, like, we won 13 games last year, and granted, it wasn't with a lot of the draft class last year, but James Gladstone has had some pretty good free agent signings, so why wouldn't we trust him as a GM? And keep in mind as well, with Liam Cohen, like, maybe Coach Campanelli was pounding on the table for Anthony Hill, and that very well could be the case. This is an offense. This is a team offense first, right? This is Liam Cohen's team, huh?
When he's dreaming about him, it's a Cohen pick.
Of course, this is this is a Liam Cohen team, right? Like, no matter how much Coach Camp is valued here, and Liam Cohen, we interviewed him last year. He even said when Godwin and Mike Evans went down, he was the first one pounding on the table, telling their GM, "We need more offensive weapons." Right? So maybe this is Liam Cohen saying, "Hey, I'm the head coach here. I want a blocking tight end." Maybe it was his call, but at the end of the day, like, I think Jaguars fans understand that they trust the process.
Yeah, which is good. I mean, I said that to Vicelli, right, on Thursday, that right now there's a lot of confidence in what this group is doing, a lot of belief, and almost, in a way, blind faith, especially in a draft, right? A little blind faith, but you got 13 wins last year, so it's not totally blind faith. And I think that did scream chess piece to me, which I kind of get excited about. I like chess over checkers because I feel like this organization's finally playing a little bit of that. And I like the fact that Liam Cohen thought he needed that piece on the chessboard.
I love the C with a chance to be an A or F.
Yeah, man.
That's a good one. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, I would say this about Gladstone. He said something in the presser that I thought you could be real critical of. And I wonder how people viewed it. But I think this one, if it doesn't come with immediate criticism, it could come with some later criticism that he set himself up for, almost in a Travis Hunter's going to change the game kind of way. We'll get to that. It's an old group. 400-plus games, by the way, for these guys. Experienced. That's another trend, I think, in the NFL. Or was it just because we had COVID and everything else, the nature of college football? Borkacher's going to be 25 in September.
Yeah.
Like, that's ancient, by the way, in a draft class. Like, that is an old player.
Real quick, though, are we still doing Intangibly Rich? Because I didn't hear that one time during the press conference.
Yeah, it's a good call. There was a little bit Thursday night on the intangible stuff.
Okay. I didn't watch Thursday night.
A little bit. Okay. But you're right, less intangibly rich conversation. And I actually got a thought on that.
Still a lot of ecosystem talk.
I got a lot of thought on the intangibly rich a little bit, too. Are the Jags ahead of the curve here, or are they on an island? That, to me, is the real question. Are they really smart with their system, or are they outsmarting themselves? It might take 3 years to figure that out. We'll be right back. Baker's Sports. It's a hometown business filled with hometown people trying to make you feel right at home.
Chris Conley, Jacksonville University.
Walker Wright, class of 2018, West Nassau High School.
Michael Young, Fletcher High School.
Baker's Sports started in a grassroots way and now outfits much of the Southeast.
Samuel Coffrin, Paxton School for Advanced Studies.
High school sports, travel sports, youth sports of all kinds. They are a one-stop shop carrying Nike, Adidas, Under Armour brands, and more.
Vincent Caldes, Oakleaf High School.
Tony Mazzio, Sandwood High School, class of 2002.
Whether it's sports teams on the field or it's your team in the workplace, like our Action Sports Jacks team, and community events like the Dream 18 Golf Tournament, and many others.
Colt Tilly, Hilliard High School.
Reagan Webb, Eagles View Academy.
Look good, feel good, play good with Baker Sports. Custom sports apparel since 1997. Shop with the hometown team at bakersport.com.
Here on Spring Sports Media Day on Action Sports Jack.
It's an opportunity, an education beyond the classroom and the sports arena. life skills, testing skills, social skills. It's called High School 912, a program focused on maximizing the growth of students in academics, sports, and life. And here's your chance to get involved. If you're a local business, or if you just want to make a donation to help support programs like ACT and SAT boot camps, career days, Leadership Academy, Financial Literacy Academy, and so much more.
Another Nice High School Panther, Jack Cole.
High School 912 supports and hosts high school sporting events and several media days throughout the year. For more information on how you can get involved, visit jackshighschool912.com.
Choose your own adventure. It's not just a saying, but a way of life here at Cycles of Jacksonville. And whether it's 2 wheels or 4 wheels, at Cycles of Jacksonville, a great adventure awaits. With brands like Honda, Vespa, Segway, and Triumph, Cycles of Jacksonville has you covered with their inventory featuring a 60,000 square foot building. If 4 wheels is more your thing, check out the largest selection of Honda Talons in the entire county. No matter what you're looking for, Cycles of Jacksonville is going to have the selection you need, all with great financing and rebates. Plus, if you're active duty military, Cycles of Jacksonville will offer you 0% financing along with great discounts for military and first responders. And when you want to get off the road and set sail, Cycles of Jacksonville has you covered with everything you need to get on the water. So if you're ready for a great adventure, let Cycles of Jacksonville be your guide. Located off Atlantic Boulevard, or check out their website at cyclesofjacksonville.com.
People helping people. It's at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From the start in 1954 to today, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. I had a chance to see that commitment firsthand as Alive partnered with our Action Sports Jacks 24/7 team to bring you Armada men's and women's soccer broadcasts. Inside the 18, it is a shot, and it's a goal! Chloe Chivers! And that connection to the community continues with Alive Credit Union's support of the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of all first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
Welcome inside the Armor Guard exterior and gutter helmet showroom. There's a lot going on, like glass exteriors, replacement windows, and down there we have the retractable screens and awnings, plus hurricane protection. Let's talk more about those gutters, and to do that we bring in Kevin. He's the owner, he's the expert. Why Gutter Helmet?
Well, Gutter Helmet's truly the only maintenance-free product. It lets the trash and debris go on the ground, the water wraps around and goes inside. Unlike filters, they sit on top of the gutters, and the trash and debris build up on top of filters, which requires maintenance. With Gutter Helmet, we're going to keep you off the ladder, the most dangerous thing in your garage. With Gutter Helmet, you'll never clean your gutters again. So get off the ladder and put on the helmet. Gutter Helmet.
Get a free estimate at gutterhelmetofnorthflorida.com. You can also call 904-762-7779 or visit the showroom on St. John's Bluff Road in Jacksonville.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
The tight end room for the Jacksonville Jaguars pretty loaded up right now. Remember, they re-signed Quentin Morris. I mean, Patrick Herbert was a practice squatter most of the year. Hunter Long, another year on his deal. And obviously Strange is going to be the star of that room. Extended, we think, soon enough. Borkature and then Koziel is really the pass. Like, he put up numbers. And that will be a potential red zone target. Get younger in that spot. So you're looking at a room, I think, down the road that feels Strange, Borkature, Koziel for the next few years. With Morris, we'll see how long he's a part of it, but he's going to be a part of it for this year, and he did a very nice job last year. So, outside of Koziel, those other guys that look like they're going to be the future of this room can really block and also pass catch. I mean, I feel like we've been talking about that for years, like the tells on defense, right? Where you have to bring in the extra lineman, which they had to do quite a bit last year. It says what you're kind of doing. It's harder to disguise it. And then, if you don't have blocking tight ends, you're also telling, which is the whole Evan Ingram thing. For even though he's a mismatch in his own right. So, I mean, again, it makes some sense, and it is, once again, a trend around the National Football League.
I mean, I was extremely surprised that they only traded essentially one draft pick away, right?
That was it?
It was 10 draft picks. Yeah,
10.
I mean,
took 10.
Unreal.
Stunned.
Yeah, I mean, I'm extremely stunned as well. Now, whether that's just teams didn't want to play ball with them, whatever the case may be, but I was extremely shocked that they still had 10 draft picks at the end of the day. But can we finally establish one thing? Because we heard in the first, well, not the first round, but the second round, the Jaguars could trade up to get a running back. Was one running back taken out of 10 picks?
Which I'm also surprised a little bit that one wasn't taken.
So, like I've been campaigning, like I'm blue in the face, can we finally establish where if there's smoke and that the Jaguars might be doing something and someone's saying something, it's probably going to be the exact opposite? Because Exhibit G right here would show, you know what? I don't think they need a running back. Because they could have got one with 10 picks and none.
I think the next draft shirt, we didn't do any this year, will be if there's smoke, there's no fire.
No, for sure. There's fire in the opposite direction, Brent.
Run toward the smoke.
Yeah. Craziness.
That is very true. And I was a little surprised they didn't take one.
Oh no,
but it also shows you they do like DJ Dallas right in that spot, and they've got a handful of backs.
Yeah, but like to me, that was a statement by James Gladstone. I mean, you could get some D3 Danny Woodhead type out of a receiving back. Nah,
and they only took one UDFA.
None.
He's actually a very intriguing player. Not that we're going to break down all the UDFAs, but from Virginia.
Yeah.
It is interesting. They took again, maybe just added with the undrafted free agent, but. And you can find them there too now, James Robinson. You're right,
for sure.
So it's a bit curious in a way that they didn't, because we had talked about it a little bit. The other thing about that whole running back deal, and I forget where that initially came from. You guys remember who had it first?
Pauline.
Oh, Pauline.
But didn't Bucky, and I love Bucky, didn't Bucky say something too?
I think Bucky did actually say there was a little smoke about that.
Yeah.
So, but I don't.
The insider.
I don't know about the Pauline stuff or whoever else, but I don't think anybody cares. Like what happened? Nobody goes back.
No, of course
and checks,
not.
right?
Listen,
that's fine. Everybody's trying to predict and guess, and that's the world we're in. But
I'm just saying, and I'm trying to tell people, like, if they know what they're doing over there.
Yeah.
All right. Like, we had no idea it was going to be Travis Hunter last year until the final hour. Like, there's a reason why, if there's once again the Max Crosby stuff, right?
Yeah.
The Trey Hendrickson stuff, right? And then what they do? Oh, then they ended up re-signing, Trayvon Walker.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't say. So, like, when you hear something, whether it's from a national pundit or even Brent trying to trade Parker Washington, it's probably not going to happen. All right? The opposite. Parker Washington's probably going to get a new 5-year deal coming up.
Yes, that's a new
Although,
deal.
Running that 13 personnel, and we'll see
yeah.
what the 12 personnel
Price just went down.
Seriously. There's room for everybody.
That's terrific. I think the one thing the Jags have done a very good job of, since Shad Khan's been an owner, is they've been pretty cryptic.
Mm-hmm.
They have not been easy to detect. I don't think the national folks either care or don't know a lot. Now, there was a bulky run with Ian Rappaport, right? There was a little bit of that. But the Jags have been very hard to figure out under the ownership, I would say, of Shad Khan, what they are doing. There's not a lot of stuff coming out of the building. I mean, Dilla had a nice run too. But
now it's
pretty quiet. And to your point, it's more like, I never know if the running back stuff or whatever is – I don't ever feel like they're planting it, but the curiosity is there enough, right? If they're planting it. Now, James Gladstone said a couple of weeks ago they don't really play the smoke game. They're not wasting a lot of energy. Yeah. But maybe they do throw a little carrot out there once in a while.
I think they do, because I think the dynamic has changed. Because it used to be, you go on Twitter, it's like, oh, wow, like it was the gospel.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, and then all of a sudden, Liam Cohen takes over. We're getting Cooper Kupp. All of a sudden, we're getting Cooper Kupp, and the whole game changed, didn't it? then it started in the offseason with Cooper Kupp. and people have been missing ever since.
BTJ being traded for the last 6 months.
People have been missing ever since.
We should actually do something on that.
We really
go back.
should.
This is a master class in terms of like.
It's a good point.
Smoke that doesn't mean anything.
Dexter Lawrence, Max Crosby, all of it.
They should hire Diana Rossini to drop breadcrumbs.
Is she in? Is she?
That's at Brent Ass Jack.
She can be the breadcrumb dropper.
Oh.
For 6 years she did it.
There's a lot more to say right there. But
Brent, I mean, theoretically, could we get her on this network? Because let's be honest.
Wouldn't hurt.
But Barstool, I'm saying she might need a gig.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we got space.
We got space. We got time.
We don't hold grudges.
We have slot. Can't you talk wrestling? Scrap House 2.0?
Might have to be.
Right, cool.
She might have to. All right, there was a soundbite that actually caught my attention from the weekend from James Gladstone. I don't know if you got a chance to hear it. I don't know how people will interpret this one. I do see some people nationally. Again, it's an interesting national draft for the Jags because I think there's so much to like about the Jaguars organization right now and where it's at. But the national folks are like, all right, who the hell do you think you are, James Gladstone? There's a little bit of that tone.
Didn't Kuiper give him my F? Not even a D-, just straight up F.
Oh, yeah?
One
Kuiper
of those guys did.
No, Kuiper gave him a C.
Which one?
Somebody gave him an F, but it was like that underdog or something like that. I don't know how reputable that is. CBS was B+. Frisco was being kind to him, probably. And then somebody, PFF gave it D+. So, I mean, for what it's worth, right? Whatever. But anyway, this is the soundbite I wanted to get to. Take a listen.
Oh, that's a great question. So I can say, as a part of maybe the day before kickoff on Thursday, we ended up putting players in slots across all 11 picks, and can in fact say that we were able to nail 10 of those 11, and we only made 10 selections. So that was a pretty fun outcome, knowing that we were able to map it as cleanly as we were. I don't think that had anything to do with skill, but maybe a little more luck than that. But that was a pretty exciting piece.
So they do these exercises, right? And Tony said they run through a bunch of different simulations and a million of them in almost in nauseating fashion, I guess, at the end of the day. And they come back to kind of what they thought in the early stages anyway. But this was somewhat new, I think, that Gladstone suggested. They were going to put all 11 picks on. Who do you think is going to be the player we pick is essentially what he did. And they got 10 of them. Now, he acknowledges they only picked 10, obviously, so they basically were perfect.
Yeah.
Well, he acknowledges there was some luck this time around in that. Okay, well, that's a little bit more than luck, because to me that says your system is thinking outside the norms of the NFL. Now, there's all this crap about the consensus board. Go screw the consensus board. I don't really give a damn about a consensus board, okay? I could really give a damn about people that have been playing Madden forever and think they know everything about the NFL and players and projections and all that stuff that don't have the jobs in the NFL that say that's the consensus board. Like, come on. I don't care about that. But I am saying when you tell me that you got the 10 right before the draft in a 7-round mock exercise where people are trading and everything else, I mean, that says you are outside the norms. Like you drafted 10 players that are a bit outside the norms. And there's two ways to look at it. Your system is going to become a trend in the NFL because it's going to work. Or you've put yourself on such an island that you're playing a different game that might not work. So like, I don't really love that. I don't think I would like to go into a draft. And no, I think I would like some common thinking with other teams that they might have stolen one of my guys.
No, for sure.
You know what I mean? So I don't love the idea that, in fact, I wouldn't have said that if I was Gladstone.
No.
But
no.
More power to him.
No, and this is the thing, man, and go ahead and clip that, right? Because, and you can call it sports entertainment or whatever, but he's setting himself up here.
He is.
He's setting himself up to either be, a genius and a wunderkind, if you will, or he's setting himself up to be called out and be made fun of, man. And like, listen, I'll say this much. I appreciate someone who is willing to die on a hill and display that much confidence.
Absolutely.
Right? As opposed to someone who's going to be status quo. This franchise doesn't need status quo. This franchise needs outside-the-box thinking. And that's what you're getting here. Now, let's call it what it is, Brent. Let's call a spade a spade. What he's saying there essentially is that he has these guys ranked a lot higher than anybody else in the NFL does.
What he said.
That's exactly what it is. He's saying that I think these players are better than any other team in the NFL thinks. Now, once again, we can't judge it right now because, well, we haven't even seen him on the field yet. And we can't judge it, after a year because that's not a fair sample size. We're going to need a couple years to see if he's right. And one of two things is going to happen in a couple years. They're going to play that soundbite, and it's going to be like, man, all right, well, let's go and hire like internally all the Jaguars assistant scouts and everything because this is the future. Or it's going to be like, all right, this young kid, this hot shot thought he knew what he was doing, and maybe he didn't. Like, that's what it is. And there is no gray area. And, actually there's a gray area because guess what? Some of these guys might be hits, and some of these guys probably won't. Yeah. This is how any NFL draft
then
works.
It's normal.
No one's batting 1,000.
Yep.
Right? Usually it's like baseball. If you're batting 300, 400, you're unreal, right?
Yeah.
So we'll take that. Time will tell.
I'm not a mathematician, but, they were very surprised. I think they were honest that Pregnon was there with their third selection.
Yeah, they were honest about that.
So I think that kind of goes against what he's saying, though. If before the draft on Thursday they penciled in 10 or 11 guys, then you wouldn't be shocked if Pregnon, because you would have taken him and be fully expecting him to be there at 88. Well, they didn't expect him to be there at 88. So that means they would have had to have somebody else who they did not draft at 88, and they said, oh, Pregnon fell, we'll take him instead. So I
maybe
really,
that's the 10 out of 11. Even though they only picked 10, maybe that's the miss because maybe in their other spot where they had the 11th pick, the guy got picked around that time or something, not for them.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Maybe
right?
the math is a little fuzzy regardless.
But yeah, that might be being a little picky, but
Sure.
I get it. That's
I like
probably that's good investigative reporting by you, actually.
I like that he said it. I'll be honest.
You did like it.
I do like that he said it because I think that, the only way that I can comp is my own fantasy draft and everybody else's. Look, you go into your fantasy draft, everybody thinks that they know. You don't play fantasy football unless that you think that you just have an edge over everybody else drafting. That's just what you do. So you have, hey, I like these, let's just say 6 guys that I want on my team regardless of where I have to take them. And if you get those 6, you don't care if anybody else says you reached because I love these guys. So what that tells me is that Gladstone and company, they don't give a damn about draft slot and value. They could not care less. They want these specific guys, and they don't care where they have to take them. And if at the end of Saturday night they have those specific guys in their minds, home run, A+.
That's actually that's a good way to look at it. Go ahead.
Do you think they're drafting off of value or drafting off of need?
100% need in their own team. They don't care about slot pick, value, any of that. I don't think. I think that's what he's saying.
Oh, I think they've created. I think this is where Intangibly Rich comes into play, man. I don't know if that's I think they've created a third column in many sense, in many ways. I don't know if it is need. I don't really know if it is value. And Pregnon could be a more value, right? More than need. You have 9 offensive linemen. Although I do think if you have a vision down the road, again, Cleveland's gone, McCarry's back, whatever. Like you probably will need an interior player somewhere. So. Yeah, I think there's need. I think there's value. There's some of that, but I think Hamby's onto something here. I mean, it's kind of like we fall in love with the player. And if you listen to his news conference a little bit more, he goes kind of through when he's asked about each one of these guys, and he says he'll even give you specific things. He's like, hey, 3 weeks ago,
right, I watched
this. We were like, we came back around on this and watched this, and we really got more intimate with this player. And like, to your point, Hamby, that's where they fell in love with him. Like, we're going to take this guy.
Yeah.
Like unless somebody just out jumps us.
Sure.
We're going to take this guy. And Borkashire was definitely that. He started the run essentially on tight ends.
Yeah.
Because one, they felt probably was going to be there by 81. And obviously, Liam Cohen absolutely loved him. Mm-hmm. And if you listen to the sound again on Friday night, he wasn't the only one that loved him. Like, they absolutely loved this guy in the process, his makeup, what he was all about, physical, tough, all those things. Mm-hmm. So I do think there's a third column, and we can call it intangibly rich, but I think that's the Jags DNA, the Duval DNA, or whatever they're saying. So it's kind of like a third columm to me. And
that's a good way to look at it.
What's fascinating, I did see a graph, and again, so many damn graphs out there in today's metric world, but they had what I thought of as the intangibly rich stuff because it was a production versus athleticism, kind of like what we did with the whole draft process and Shock Your Mock, right? Mm-hmm. The Jags, crazy enough, were kind of toward the middle axle, if you will, but not high in either one, and more on the downside of both metrics. Like they shaded a little bit. They weren't like in their own corner, but shaded on the both sides of production and athleticism. And the athleticism doesn't surprise me because I've heard for the last year that James Gladstone does not give a damn if your arms are 33 inches or 31 inches. Like he is not getting enamored with that. Sure, takes it into account, but we're bulky, like totally would cross a guy off. Like that's not it with Gladstone. So I don't think athleticism is the end-all, be-all. Mm-hmm. Puka Nacua is a good example in the Rams system, right? Mm-hmm. So, but I did think the production maybe would be valuable. Instead, what the Jags did is basically went with age as the biggest metric. Mm-hmm. I mean, these are older players. And what does that say to you about the Jags going with such older players? And they were, I think, Daniel Griffiths put this out there. I want to say they were the top 5 oldest draft class. And you know who was the oldest?
Rams.
The Rams.
Oh, my word, man.
Yeah.
So what do you say? What do you think about the class being old?
Yeah, I mean, I think it speaks on they want experience, right? I think the more experience, the more plays that you've seen, the more football that you played, the more you can come in right away and make a difference in terms of learning a system and getting ingrained. And that's where I feel like this team is at right now. It's the same effect that the Rams had when they traded away all their first-round picks and got NFL veterans. They went down the route of, you know what, we're going to bring in veterans like a Clay Matthews, even like a Dante Fowler, Jalen Ramsey. We're going to bring in all these guys who played some football, who know what's going on, so we don't have to teach them anything. I think the more experienced guys, the older you guys you bring in, the more they've seen it. So it's like you don't have to catch them up or anything. Because when you bring in young guys, and I'm trying to think back to my draft. I mean, I think my draft class, it was a lot of guys that had a lot of experience. Like, I think there's certain types where you draft based off of maybe like freakish attributes, but not so much experience. Where, okay, that's great. Like, he runs a great 40-yard dash. He's a freak in nature, hasn't played a lot of football. You got to teach him how to play football. That takes time, effort, and energy, right? And maybe
that was Mason Smith.
That was Mason Smith. Okay. So then maybe Liam Cohen thinks, you know what, we don't really have time for that. The window's open right now. Let's bring in guys that know how to play the game already. We'll show them the plays, and we're off to the races.
Yeah, I think you just kind of said it to me. The window's open. Like that's what it shows. The window's open, and we're going to get these guys up to speed as quick as possible. The world loves to, forever loves to get younger, especially the athletic world. We're living in an age right now where people are trying to get older. In college, they're trying to get older all the time. They don't want freshmen playing. They want the 22, 23-year-old to play. The NFL has not really worked like that, but the nature of college athletics right now has helped this shift. And I think the Jags window being open helps this shift. What it also tells me is when you draft 56 first, you're probably not anticipating getting too many blue chippers out of this draft. I mean, 56 and beyond, the chances go way down. It's a blue chipper. Well, that also means you're probably looking at one-contract players based on age and based on positioning in the draft and probably their talent. So I think it kind of showcases really the window. Let's go get in here, be able to play over 400 games played for this group. They've played a lot of football in their career. And the Jags will try to catch them up to speed and impact right away, but it should help. The Jags had Trevor Lawrence at 21. Like Travis Hunter last year was, 22. Brian Thomas Jr. comes in at 21. Mortgage is going to be 25 when he plays September. I think his birthday's in September. That's an older player, but a wiser player, a guy that's played a ton of football at Nebraska and Texas A&M, and they love it. For this moment right now. Doesn't mean, by the way, in a couple of years they won't go back to picking the 22-year-old guy. But it's fascinating.
BTJ gonna be in his third year this year, saying, "Hey, Rook," to Borkature, and he's like, "Bro, I got 2 years."
He's 2 years older than.
Yeah, I got 2.
But the whole
years.
draft class is older than like Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
One more thing on that, Hamby, because you know this for baseball. Like baseball, they want if you're like 22, 23, you can't even get drafted.
No.
Yeah.
Now that's changing a little bit too. They're rushing some of those guys up.
Yeah.
But again, the sports world doesn't usually do that.
Right.
They want the youth so they can get you in their system as quick as possible and develop you. It's a little bit different because of the college landscape and maybe what the Jags are looking for.
And real quick, try to put kind of go full circle on this conversation about, maybe more experience than youth. The Rams have been at the forefront for a while. A lot of people after that Rams-Seahawks playoff matchup said, what do they need? They need a cornerback. JSN burnt them, right?
Yeah.
So what do? They don't take their 2 first-round draft picks and say, let's go ahead and get let's get a first-round cornerback, maybe get that cat from LSU that everyone was talking about. No, let's go ahead and trade for Trent McDuffie, who has more experience, who can come in right away, play that that dime role. Because if you know anything about Trent McDuffie, dude's not afraid to hit people, not afraid to play in the line of scrimmage, right? So they get Trent McDuffie and they say, we'll sacrifice that first-round pick. Chiefs, you go ahead and have fun with that. And now you got to teach a cornerback how to play in the NFL. We'll take Trent McDuffie, give him some money, and he's going to come in ready to roll.
Yeah,
that's
getting older.
It's getting older, but it's also it's the Jaguars essentially, taking the Rams blueprint. And I think that the biggest thing we have to ask ourselves going forward now is that the way to do it? Yeah. To model your entire team off of another franchise with different players, with a different ecosystem. We'll see how it pans out.
In that respect, and I know you had a thought to get back to you. In that respect, that is not I just think the difference between this modeling is it's very forward facing. It's very transparent that, hey, we're doing what they're doing. Mm-hmm. The league has been doing this for decades.
Oh, it will always be a copycat
it's always a
league.
copycat league, right? So the league has always been doing this. I mean, everybody copied the San Francisco 49ers and Bill Walsh and, for years and years and years. So that part's not abnormal. And then people tried to copy the Patriots model and they couldn't do it. From assistant coaches to, oh, wait a minute, we don't have Belichick and Brady. There are just some things that you can't copy. And hopefully the magical piece here is other organizations don't have James Gladstone, Liam Cohen, Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Well, that's the key. And then one more thing, Brent. I get the copycat league. I saw it firsthand with the Wildcat. The Miami Dolphins tried out the Wildcat, then all of a sudden everybody doing the Wildcat. Now nobody can really do the Wildcat except the Miami Dolphins, and then guess what? Then people get hip to the game and they couldn't even run the Wildcat anymore. Yeah. Now you barely see it anymore just because people get hip to it. And once again, this isn't it's just a rhetorical question. I wonder if you start to question though if you copy the Seahawks this year and you copy the Rams of this, the success that they had. We talk about it's an offensive, quarterback driven pass first league. The Rams are a great running football team. So are the Seahawks. Seahawks won a Super Bowl because of it. And they let Kenneth Walker go. We'll see what happens there. But they established how to win the Super Bowl this year. Things always change. A couple years ago, it was all about the tight bunch formation. The Patriots on primetime television in the middle of the Super Bowl said, you know what? We're going to take the tight bunch away. We're going to get we're going to run more nickel. We're going to run with big cornerbacks, press the line of scrimmage, and take them off their timing routes. Then everybody started doing that. You run the risk, though, of when you start copying people, are you behind a little bit and you're missing the next innovation?
Yeah.
That's my only worry for what the Jaguars are doing. I don't think it's going to be an issue, but that's my biggest worry of, okay, if you take this 12, 13 personnel and everything and you copy the Seahawks, you copy the Rams, are you already going to be behind because there's the next big thing going to come out this year?
Well, I think you got to be nimble. If you're going to do
you got to
be nimble, and I think you also have to hit timing. It's in many ways it's like probably a Fortune 500 company or a small business or whatever, where it's like, okay, the timing has to fit when you open that sucker up, right? And be in the wheelhouse. Hamby, do you remember what you were going to say?
Yeah, we're going to do Shock Your Mock next year because I think we might as well just throw it out the window. I mean, bro,
we could get some interesting ones after this year.
So actually, I need I'm going to find a name and I'll have it to you in just a few minutes. There was a draft that had Pregnon being taken at 56, and the only draft that had Borkature on it, this guy did at 203.
I do remember Borkature being on a draft.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we had a couple because I kept on going line when I would read his name because I didn't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
So though
203.
203.
Wow.
Yeah. So
what do you guys make of this on that point? What do you make of the consensus stuff? Like seriously, that's the buzzword, and where's it coming from? Does it matter? Like,
I mean, I have no issue with it because I think we've always used it. It's just now that like the Jaguars had all their picks, so it's almost like, well, this sucks now. Like, oh, really? Because nobody gave.
So why is it gospel? Like that's the point.
Oh,
I guess,
but
right?
I don't think it's gospel. I just think it's a great tool to use to kind of get an idea of like the range of a player.
Yeah.
You know,
there's some variations going on out there on social media. I've seen like teams use the consensus board, and then other people are like, no, they don't. They don't use the consensus board. So
because I would feel like if the people that make up the consensus board, wouldn't they just be GMs and scouts and everything?
I would think, but there are a lot of people that, listen, there's the Jeremiahs of the world or you name it, that were in front offices that are pretty good at this stuff.
Reddicks,
like,
sure.
I mean, that you really, you respect what their eyeballs say, right? Mike Mayock was that before he became a GM. So yeah.
Tannenbaum, Brent, go and give a guy Tannenbaum some credit.
Yeah. So I don't know if, I understand where it comes from.
Oh, we're good, Hamby. We don't need this. We don't.
What do you mean we don't need this? So, that was a good one.
I don't put out tweets to. No, we'll go ahead. I mean, yeah, okay. There you go, man.
That was a good one.
I was just tired of everybody talking about it. That
was very well crafted, by the way, too. You had to use your space bar a little bit.
Oh yeah, but that's an old school kind of meme right there. People were doing that.
Consensus is a deal because of fantasy drafts. Because if you ever do a live draft, if you're a good commissioner, then you hand everyone the top 200 consensus so that they can have a resource. Mm-hmm. That's what you do. So I don't know why this is new either.
It's not. It's just.
Well, I don't think it's new. It just really came out like
it's new because supposedly the consensus board and the Jaguars are so far off. Like that's it's new to us. Yeah.
I mean, are the Jags the origin of the consensus board being the major topic this year? Seriously,
I think so. Yeah.
They are.
Yeah,
they
absolutely. Yes.
Which is also a little weird considering they picked so late in the draft. It'd be one thing if they picked Borkature in the first round, right?
Yeah.
And then that's got everybody talking on Thursday night. It's interesting that these are the draftniks. People really love this stuff, put a lot of work into it. I also thought of this dynamic, and I think this is one of the most unique things in sports, the draft. Because the NFL is so big, because people, and by the way, while I chuckle at the knowledge of Madden players and everybody's an expert and all that stuff, X's and O's, and I played high school football, and so I know this, and, I will say there's so much more knowledge and accessibility of people learning the game and having knowledge of the game and really diving into this stuff, like really diving into it. So I don't dismiss that, but there's so much of that goes on. I wonder how hard that is to separate inside a building and the noise outside the building. And I think usually we get drafts that somewhat fall in line. But again, the college landscape has a factor here. These new systems being put in place from Jars to Blackwater, from LA to the Jags, the intense operation of analytics that's come to the forefront over really the last 10 or 15 years. Now we get all these different tentacles to say, well, that consensus board, not everybody's going off it. And I just think it's a wild dynamic because it puts a lot of outside pressure on these regimes. Because now you're going to get a lot more I told you so's if you're wrong. And you're already getting that in the draft anyway, right? You're getting that in pro sports. I told you, why didn't you pick this guy? Or why didn't you sign this guy in free agency? Or why didn't you re-sign this guy? This guy stinks or whatever. There's already that in sports. But I think the NFL being such a beast, so many more people thinking they have expert knowledge of it on the outside looking in with whatever websites and everything else, which more power to you, I just think is hard to separate from an inside the building versus outside the building.
Yeah.
And it must be wild. I mean, because Gladstone knew, probably they all knew sitting there in the room, like, wait until the people hear this draft.
I know.
Yeah, they had to anticipate
Right.
that.
But see, and this is, I'm glad you brought this up because this is the one thing. Like, listen, I'm trying to break down. They're going a lot more dime. All right, they're going a lot more 13 personnel. I can break all that down. What I don't get though, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around, is the fact that they don't use the consensus board. It seems like that. This draft was exhibit A of that. And it's crazy because to me, the consensus board is like analytics, right? You take into account production, you take into account the metrics of maybe the combine or athleticism or whatever. And I think like that goes all into account in terms of a consensus board. When you look at what the Jaguars did this past season in terms of on the field, well, dude, kicking a field goal? Nah, we're going to go for it, right? Because the analytics say we got to go for it here. Like, and I think we question a lot of Liam Cohen sometimes of not taking points and going for it. Now, this is a Liam Cohen issue for on the field. It's a James Gladstone off the field. But to a team that seems like they're so intertwined and communicate so well, it's crazy that it feels like James Gladstone's going more off of what his eyes tell him and more of a feel thing than what the analytics, what the consensus board says. Because that's not to mimic what the Jaguars did on the field this past season. And I don't really understand like where that disconnect is.
Yeah, it's a different dynamic, and whether it's right or wrong, I think that is wild to watch. The other thing is it's not like they're falling in love with these guys 3 weeks ago to the point of our conversation earlier at the Combine. They're not even meeting these guys. They're just doing the work around the people that know them for the most part, and then they've got their Zoom calls and stuff. But and one last thing about the dynamic inside the building versus outside the building, I would say, is that these guys do pay attention to the outside the building stuff. So they're aware of it. Like there have been other regimes that just got their blinders on and they're in the bowels of the building. And I mean, I said that about Doug. Like Doug really didn't have, to me, a great feel of what was being talked about in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And therefore it left him blindsided at times up on the podium. And so I'm not criticizing the Jags for acknowledging the pulse of what's going on. I think that's a good thing. But to me, that also is harder to separate. Hey, get ready. The reaction to this, like I would have loved to be in that room on Friday or Saturday and ask them. I probably should have asked them this before. What's the reaction going to be on Sunday when the draft is over of the fan base? Even if it's like an off-the-record thing, would have been fun to ask. And say, well, I kind of did ask Tony that, right? Didn't I say, would there be surprises in the draft? I think I asked Tony, but I think I meant more like, hey, are you going to trade Brian Thomas Jr. away, or are you going to go pick number 16? Not are you going to draft
any picks away?
Not are you going to draft
at all, Tony?
Not are most people going to have to use search engines to figure out who you just drafted? That wasn't really my intent of the question.
Oh, man.
So really wild, man. Again, we'll figure it out. And I don't have a problem with it. And I know this is a throwaway, easy way to say it. The Jags have been graded A+ drafts a million times over the years, and I've covered 3 winning seasons in Jacksonville. I don't really give a damn if people hate the Jags draft. Like, we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, we'll see. And listen, we're all going to talk about this 3 or 4 years from now. We'll come back to the conversation, and we'll get to have our say whether it was good or bad.
Hey, I just saw a Travis Hunter comment. The reality is right now, the Jags have to actually be more right about last year's draft in the immediate than they do about this year's draft.
100%.
They have to be more right that Travis Hunter is going to make a difference and that Caleb Ransaw is going to be a difference maker in your dime defense.
Of course.
Than they do about the guys that they just drafted. That is actually more paramount to the Jags' success.
Yeah.
Last year's draft being more of a, hey, they got it right. Than this one.
Without a doubt. Because, like, listen, and I campaigned for it a lot. Like, I thought Xavier Watts was the surefire pick at safety. Obviously, they saw something in Caleb Ransaw. And now we'll see it. Like, to me, how Caleb Ransaw plays it, and it's crazy to fathom, but, like, I don't think there's any more important player this year than Caleb Ransaw. I mean, I get, like, Travis Hunter is important, obviously, because he's be your starting corner. But I mean, like,
I get what you're saying.
To see what the process is than Caleb Ransaw. And I mean 100% healthy Caleb Ransaw. That's going to show you whether, like, I think the draft think from James Gladstone will work or not. Because, once again, Xavier Watts was the layup. He was the guy that fell. He shouldn't have fell. He had the 2-time All-American. He had all the stats in college, come from big school Notre Dame. Like, it was almost like he couldn't miss. They picked Caleb Ransaw for a reason. So now we're about to see, this year, from last year's draft, what James Gladstone envisioned and whether that vision's going to be 2020 or going to need some LASIK.
We'll see. Yeah, that's a good one. It is a good one to keep an eye on. I won't be the headliner to keep an eye on, but I think it will be a big part of the puzzle for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let's hit a break. Brent and Austen Show, Action Sports Jacks 24/7 Network. You know, the Tennessee Titans apparently had an unbelievable draft. We've been there before, too. Hopefully those draft graders are wrong. There's the class for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Did they find a gem somewhere in there? They're a 4th, 5th, 6th rounder in there.
Tell you what,
that's
Brent,
going to be a stud.
And now I have to get a 75 Jaguars jersey. Can you imagine treating for offensive lineman in our house now with Oregon?
Roden was excited?
Oh, he was so pumped.
People love that kid now.
Yeah.
But why did he drop to 88 is what I'd ask. It's like in free agency. It's like, well, why is the other team getting rid of him if we're going to love him so much? Right? It's a little bit of that for me.
Who's his NFL comparison? Probably no one knew what the NFL comparison was, so he dropped.
Who knows a guard anyway?
Yeah, it's like guard.
We'll be back.
Baker Sports. It's a hometown business filled with hometown people trying to make you feel right at home.
Chris Conley, Jacksonville University.
Walker Wright, class of 2018, West Nassau High School.
Michael Young, Fletcher High School.
Baker Sports started in a grassroots way and now outfits much of the Southeast.
Samuel Coffrin, Paxton School for Advanced Studies.
High school sports, travel sports, youth sports of all kinds. They are a one-stop shop carrying Nike, Adidas, Under Armour brands, and more.
Vincent Caldes, Oak Leaf High School.
Tony Mazzio, Stanwood High School, class of 2002.
Whether it's sports teams on the field or it's your team in the workplace, like our Action Sports Jacks team, and community events like the Dream 18 Golf Tournament, and many others.
Colt Tilly, Hilliard High School.
Reagan Webb, Eagles View Academy.
Look good, feel good, play good with Baker Sports. Custom sports apparel since 1997. Shop with the hometown team at bakersport.com.
Here on Spring Sports Media Day on Action Sports Jacks.
It's an opportunity, an education beyond the classroom and the sports arena. Life skills, testing skills, social skills. It's called High School 912, a program focused on maximizing the growth of students in academics, sports, and life. And here's your chance to get involved. If you're a local business, or if you just want to make a donation to help support programs like ACT and SAT boot camps, career days, Leadership Academy, Financial Literacy Academy, and so much more.
Another Nice High School Panther, Jack Cool.
High School 912 supports and hosts high school sporting events and several media days throughout the year. For more information on how you can get involved, visit jackshighschool912.com.
Choose your own adventure. It's not just a saying, but a way of life here at Cycles of Jacksonville. And whether it's 2 wheels or 4 wheels, at Cycles of Jacksonville, a great adventure awaits. With brands like Honda, Vespa, Segway, and Triumph, Cycles of Jacksonville has you covered with their inventory featuring a 60,000 square foot building. If 4 wheels is more your thing, check out the largest selection of Honda Talons in the entire county. No matter what you're looking for, Cycles of Jacksonville is going to have the selection you need, all with great financing and rebates. Plus, if you're active duty military, Cycles of Jacksonville will offer you 0% financing along with great discounts for military and first responders. And when you want to get off the road and set sail, Cycles of Jacksonville has you covered with everything you need to get on the water. So if you're ready for a great adventure, let Cycles of Jacksonville be your guide. Located off Atlantic Boulevard, or check out their website at cyclesofjacksonville.com.
People helping people. It's at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From the start in 1954 to today, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. I had a chance to see that commitment firsthand as Alive partnered with our Action Sports Jacks 24/7 team to bring you Armada men's and women's soccer broadcasts. Inside the 18, it is a shot, and it's a goal! Chloe Chivers! And that connection to the community continues with Alive Credit Union's support of the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of all first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
Welcome inside the Armor Guard Exterior and Gutter Helmet Showroom. There's a lot going on, like glass exteriors, replacement windows, and down there we have the retractable screens and awnings, plus hurricane protection. Let's talk more about those gutters, and to do that, we bring in Kevin. He's the owner, he's the expert. Why Gutter Helmet?
Well, Gutter Helmet's truly the only maintenance-free product. It lets the trash and debris go on the ground, the water wraps around and goes inside. Unlike filters, they sit on top of the gutters, and the trash and debris build up on top of filters, which requires maintenance. With Gutter Helmet, we're going to keep you off the ladder, the most dangerous thing in your garage. With Gutter Helmet, you'll never clean your gutters again. So get off the ladder and put on the helmet. Gutter Helmet.
Get a free estimate at gutterhelmetofnorthflorida.com. You can also call 904-762-7779 or visit the showroom on St. John's Bluff Road in Jacksonville.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austin Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
I don't know if you're familiar with this story. Did you see this over the weekend? The prom story?
No, I didn't.
All right, so this is Jordan, who covers Lake City, Columbia, and that area. West Nassau was playing Sewanee in baseball in the regional quarterfinals on Saturday night. The games were Friday and Saturday. Now, bottom line here is most of the seniors, including their top pitcher named here, didn't play in the game.
Playoff game. When to go home?
Because of prom.
Good. Is that it? Is that the show? Because I mean, who are we talking to? I've lost all faith in the youth. That's what that's what I'm trying to cater to. See ya. That's what we're doing now.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah, I don't.
I'll tell you
know
a quick story.
How much is get off my lawn on this?
No,
how much is?
No.
Again, we live in that world. Like, I can't imagine that happening. Like, I missed my graduation from college, and it was like I would have done it 100 times over because we were playing in Quincy,
to sit down,
Illinois.
hungover for 3 hours, waiting to get your name called. Cool.
I would have missed that for a ping pong match.
I know. Well, some I would kind of too, but I understand the importance for some people of graduation and why that's a big thing. And that's what I try to be a little sensitive on the prom side of things, like that experience. But I'm like, here's the other thing about prom these days. My understanding of it, it's a picture deal. Like, you take pictures, you go to the prom for like 5 minutes. Like, the kids go to the prom for like 5 or 10 minutes and leave. It's not like they're spending all night at the prom. This is a picture moment, which you could do like anytime you want.
Has anybody done any research? I assume, does this guy have a girlfriend? And like,
yeah, I don't think it's fair to just single out the kid because it was a bunch of them.
But my point, listen, I've been through this a little bit. So
here we go.
My this would have been my senior year. No, junior year, because junior year is the big one. We had junior prom, and that's like when you get like you're on prom court and everything.
Okay,
so I'm on prom court, and I'm on prom court with this girl who we're not dating or anything, but we just got voted together. All right, so we got it. Size wise, horrible. She was super short. I'm tall, so it didn't. I don't know why we got voted like we did, but we got voted like that. So okay, cool. Well, there was a high school combine showcase in Minnesota the same day. Hey, I'm sorry. I'm coming from a small school. I need to get my name out there, Brent. All right? And it ain't like now you got YouTube and everything, so we got to go out to this showcase. I think it was it Brown? I think it was Brown Deer, Minnesota, or something, in the middle of nowhere.
Wow.
Right? And I do the combine, getting my 40-yard dash. I'm in a 3-point stance, literally like a defensive end stance, because nobody taught me how to run a 40-yard dash because, once again, 2005, so what are you going to do? So do all that, and I come back. Now, the plan was that I was going to get back in time for, like, the dance. But pictures and everything, probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
Well, get a call on my cell phone halfway from Minnesota to Wisconsin, and I guess my date was a little upset, and she was almost in tears because we couldn't take a picture together because, that
you were busy.
That I was busy, and that's really important. So the entire prom party then was like whatever, 5 groups, 5 couples or 6 couples, whatever, had to wait for me to get back. I think it was like 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. so we could take our stupid ass prom picture. So then we could all go like this, and for everybody. And then that messed up dinner a little bit because then we can go out to prom dinner, and then we got to prom late. Like it was a big thing. Needless to say, did I care? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Now, did the girl care that it was an issue? So that's why I ask if the guy had a girlfriend or if there were some obligations, because you want to talk about the wrath of a wife or something like that. If you come home a little late, if you don't do the dishes. Talk to me about the wrath of a junior girl who isn't getting her prom fulfilled like she wanted.
Yeah.
That wrath, it's only for a year, but that wrath, people don't know, Brent, unless you know.
That's and by the way, the pictures now are even more important to the kids.
Oh my God,
like more important.
But you're right. Yeah. You have cell phones, you're posting them now. Yeah. Hey, I haven't seen any of those prom pictures in 20 freaking years. Like, nobody cares.
That's right.
Nobody cares.
And, I know people say it's a life experience, all that stuff. How much do you talk about your prom?
We're all good.
I still talk about all my playoff games.
We're all good.
And I lost them.
I think they'll regret this decision down the road. There's the University Christian.
Well, they lost, by the way. Chat was wondering if they lost.
West
yes,
Minnesota,
they did.
And in fairness, they might have anyway. They played a very good Sewanee team.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot to this story, and there's a lot to this story that goes back weeks. Like these guys, they had made this decision weeks prior to before even the bracket came out,
right?
And they actually thought they were going further away, most likely in the bracket. And it turned out it was just in Sewanee. And they tried to get it moved, from my understanding, weeks in advance before the bracket even came out. But I'm assuming the FHSA was like, well, we don't even have the bracket out yet. And then other teams started to move, like Bartram and Oakleaf played on Thursday night because of the prom. Some people moved up prom like at 2 o'clock in the afternoon instead of 7 o'clock games. So, but I think the hay was in the barn already with the kind of like, wait a minute, you're not going to the don't even show up at practice then by the time this stuff came out.
Yeah.
And so they never really had a chance to move the game because they had basically said, see you later to the guys not coming. Like, that's my interpretation.
Well, good. If a junior was to say, "I want to go to my junior prom," like, hey, buddy, go find another place to play next year. You're not playing for me. You're gonna have to transfer.
You're doing high school stuff, man. You gotta be very careful, like being that adamant about it in a high school space. Like, I really do think.
I mean, senior, there's no punishment because they're done. But a junior, all right, man, you ain't gonna play for me next year.
Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, you have that in the back of your mind, right?
Yeah,
certainly. So, yeah, this is and everybody's saying, hey, move the game, figure out a way to move the game. Again, I think it wasn't just that easy because Sewanee on Friday night had Grad Bash, so they couldn't play on Friday. And they certainly didn't want to play probably after Grad Bash. Usually get back at, like 3 in the morning or something?
Yeah.
And didn't want to play at noon or 1 or 2. So there were some elements here. And I think a lot of people, that this thing has kind of gone viral. Well, I think it has gone viral. And I think what people are missing is they thought it's just a regularly scheduled game. Because we're in like the North and everything, they're just still playing like their 15th game of the year. You know? Right. This was a state playoff game, not a district playoff game. It's a state playoff game. Like, this is the end of your career. And
yeah, that's it.
I get you'll get some people like, well, so let them go to prom. They should go to prom, enjoy it. It's like,
imagine you
make a commitment.
Yeah,
you make a commitment to the team.
I'm telling you, man, this is more than just these players, though. I think it is like girlfriend related. It has to be girlfriend related. I'm hoping for the sake of the youth, Brent. I'm hoping it's girlfriend related.
Well, and that was the other.
That's not absolve the parents, though.
I mean,
parent, hey, no kid, you're going to the game.
Nah, but I mean, and I get it. And like, I would try to probably explain to my son this happened. Like, hey, man, like, let's really think, because that's what my stepdad did. Like, so my stepdad always told the story of how he gave up a chance to play football in college because he followed his girlfriend to a different university.
Okay.
And I'll never forget the first time he told me, like, well, do you regret it? He goes, well, you think it was your mom? And I go, no. He goes, then what do you think, Aus? I go, yeah, I'm sure you probably regret it. He's like, yeah, I regret it every single day. So he's like, if you have a chance to get a scholarship or something, like, play sports first and worry about girls later. And he always told me that. And then that rung true with me. I think, though, Hamby, like, and I get it, where are the parents at? I think parents nowadays, man, they let their kids make a lot of decisions.
I think so, too. And by the way, that
dude, imagine
you let your
doing
girlfriend make a
cha-chas.
lot of decisions at that age too.
Take
But,
the
like,
suit
how
back,
sad it- I know.
parent.
Dude,
Just take it back.
Dude, imagine doing the cha-cha slide, and you're thinking, like, man, I could be like up to bat right now with my and you're just 2 hops this time.
Drinking a fruit punch in the gym. Oh,
Cha-cha
brutal.
rips left. Oh, so dude, I'd be
Check game changer. Your team's getting dimed.
You would see a-
You're out there having a lemonade in the school
You would
gymnasium
see
in
a
the bleachers.
6'4", 185
Your girlfriend's on the other
strong
side in
kid.
the bathroom for 30 minutes with her girlfriend.
I'd be crying, man.
Oh.
Dude, if that was me.
Miss me with all that.
And I had a girlfriend where I had to go out. Hands on your knee. Like, dude, I'm in tears, dude.
Freaking Macarena.
Like, what is my life?
I can't.
You know?
I can't believe the last couple of weeks with this situation must have been excruciating for a lot of people. Like, because I don't know what you can really do about it at the end of the day. But I think
I
you're
gotta
right.
know more, Brent. I gotta
Yeah.
know more about this. And listen, I'm not, far be it for me to ever care about anybody's relationship, set aside from Mike Vrabel and Ruth City. But now I gotta know if these players, like, they had girlfriends or not. Because if you just went because, hey, I'm just gonna go have fun with my friends at the prom, there's gonna be other dances.
I mean, you're out in Callahan, man. Do a bonfire tonight.
That's what I'm saying, man. Dude, it's.
I think the biggest thing I was stunned by, and I don't know if this is right or not, but it was a baseball team. If it was like the softball team that decided
That's
to go,
different.
like, I would have maybe felt different about it.
That's different.
But it was the baseball team. Like, how many guys really want to go to prom anyway?
Dude, if this was football, my
I just
coach
wanted to
would've
go to
canceled
dinner with
prom.
my buddies.
I promise you. He would have got word, would have canceled prom. Just like that. Nope.
I feel bad. I'm a little uncomfortable beating up the kids that did it.
No, beat them up.
But because they're young kids,
You get arrested.
I just do feel bad because I feel like this, because this is why I'm a big believer in high school sports and youth sports of this, is that you are going to be in 20 and 25, 30 years down the road telling stories, right? We all do still. About when you played in high school or a game that you had in college or whatever.
We'll be telling the story about our game on Saturday night for years.
Like, you don't tell, you don't remember the win or a game even. I mean, maybe you remember 4 for 4 or something like that. But usually you're telling these kind of stories. What are these guys going to say in 25 years? I mean, yeah, I really should have went to that game. Like, they're going to regret it.
Wow, there's some dissension in the chat.
Who has any kind of prom memories at all? Like, come on.
Duval, angry teammate or pissed off lover. I'd rather piss off my buddy than piss off my wife.
That's not a bad.
They're not married. They're 18 years old.
Brent, okay, but I will once again, we're getting in relationships and everything. I feel like kids are more far along though than when I was coming up. Like, I feel like kids are more like almost married these days than when I was.
Yeah,
like,
I've
it's
wondered
almost
that
like
at
back
times
to like
too.
the 50s with my grandparents.
There's some of that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, when my grandparents were teenagers, it's like, okay, well, you met somebody, okay, you're getting married.
You're married, yeah.
It's kind of the
There's
same
a little
thing.
bit of
I
that.
feel like it.
There's, I don't know if it's more than other generations, but
I feel like we're going back to the 50s.
I kind of feel like that at times too.
Yeah.
Can we get back to the draft, please? Killer Tofu is a little uncomfortable about talking about the prom, I guess.
I mean, I'm more upset about this than the Jaguars draft.
Well, you're not the only one.
This is ridiculous.
You're not the only one.
This is ridiculous.
Hey, let's stay on time, take a break. We come back. I do want to get to the Tennessee draft and any other big head. How about Carson Beck going 65th overall? Was that a surprise? And will he have a chance to play? Jaden Kennedy, who we had in 109th. Austin Barber goes, I think, 86th. So our local guys went between 65 and 109. Nice run on the Jacksonville products there. So good luck to all those players. But how about the rest of the AFC South and really who the Jags are contending with in the AFC? Remember, this is not just a South picture for the Jags. If you think they are contenders, well, then you're taking a look at Baltimore and the Chargers and really all the contenders. Cincinnati, there's a bunch of them in the AFC. Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3.
Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
In this video, I'm going to show you how to easily access Action News Jax Now using your Roku device. First, launch Roku. Next, use the menu list to scroll down to the search feature. Then, use the remote to enter Action News Jax into the search bar, and then click Action News Jax thumbnail. Once you see this screen, go ahead and select Add App. Wait a few seconds for it to install. Once it finishes installing, press the star button on your remote and click on Move App or Move App to the top. Finally, select the app back on your home screen to open it. Now you can watch all the great content on Action News Jax Now. Live daily breaking news.
We have breaking news happening right now in Clay County.
First alert weather and traffic.
Looks like we have a tornado warning. Let's take a look at that.
Action Sports Jax 24/7.
We've got the Brent and Austen Show daily, live sporting events, and long-form interviews you can't see anywhere else.
And shows like Law and Crime and much more. And that's how you access Action News Jax Now using your Roku device.
Nimnicht is synonymous with Jacksonville, and now in 2026, Nimnicht is celebrating 85 years of partnerships with you. Longevity equals trust, and you want a car dealership you can trust. Thousands of vehicles sold, generations of families, all part of the Nimnicht family of dealerships. My family has been part of the Nimnicht family for almost 20 of those 85 years, and I've told you about all the different vehicles that we've purchased. But it's not about the cars and the trucks. It's about the service and also the Nimnicht relationships that expand all around the community.
Congratulations to Jordan Matthews, our committed to the uncommitted player of the year.
Nobody but Nimnicht. They are there for you and your causes, your car buying experience, and they are there for you 24 hours a day at NimnichtBuickGMC.com. Experience professional grade with big inventory and even bigger savings. And Jacksonville's only Car Bravo certified dealership. Nobody but Nimnicht for 85 years. This milestone belongs to you, Jacksonville.
Year 2 is in the books for the Jacksonville Armada women's under-23 squad, taking another step forward in the Women's Premier Soccer League. Under the guidance of head coach David Goff, the girls in blue went undefeated at home for a second straight season, including a dramatic draw in the opener.
And they've left it to the death. Unbelievable stuff.
And a late winner to end the season at home.
Headed on. Here's a chance. Gianna Ramirez brings it down, still alive, takes a shot, and into the back of the net.
After fielding a younger roster in 2025 with talent from all across Northeast Florida, the future is bright for the Armada women's team. We highlight the ladies and all things Jacksonville Armada each week on Fleet and Footy on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
I'll put one in the back of the net for you.
Join us for player profiles, fun interviews, and the very latest on the Fleet and all things footy. That's every Thursday at 2 p.m.
It can be a silent killer, but awareness is getting louder. Blood clots take more lives each year than car crashes. And just like driving, you have to be defensive. A few easy ways to protect yourself or someone you love are to learn your Caprini risk score and ask your doctor about your blood clot prevention plan. Emily's Promise is a local nonprofit named for Emily Atkins, a young woman from Fernandina Beach who died after a preventable blood clot following a broken ankle. Her legacy is now driving change across Florida. The Emily Atkins Family Protection Act strengthens how hospitals screen for clot risks and train staff to recognize warning signs. Blood clots can affect anyone, including athletes, and the signs can be easy to miss. So be aware, be defensive, and help beat a silent killer with loud attention to risk factors and symptoms. Learn more at emilypromises.com. That's emilypromises.com.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Hey, welcome to the desert, Carson Beck. And I think a really good spot for Carson Beck to land. And we're going to be intrigued by his NFL career, I think. What will it be? Could it be as a backup mostly? Will he get a big shot to perform? You like the fit out in Arizona?
I mean, I think he's got the opportunity, right? That's as a backup quarterback right now, it's about the opportunity. And, you know, I think you're playing on a team where you might get your name called. It'd be a starter right away.
Yeah. How about you, Mr. Beck fan?
No, it's a great fit. I mean, we kind of mentioned it just briefly on Saturday. Teammates with Jacoby Brissett and Gardner Minshew. I mean, those are not long-term solutions. So
Brissett did have some good numbers. I mean, like, it's crazy. So here's the thing, and this is the fantasy part. If you're a fantasy player, you're going to say that Jacoby Brissett is like
the 10th best quarterback.
Future.
Yeah.
If you watch it, though, it's like, does it really make a lot of sense?
But they're not going to give Brissett another contract. So that he's not the quarterback of the future. Beck is the quarterback of the future there. I think we can say that as of right now. So maybe he doesn't play a single down this year. Maybe he does. I mean, I think he'll give him a shot. But regardless, like whenever Brissett's contract is up, I think the keys will kind of be handed to Beck unless something kind of goes unexpectedly.
Yeah, so I think it's a good spot for him. No doubt. We'll see how it works out for Carson Beck, and good luck to the local guys. I want to get to Tennessee real quick. They got an A+ grade, if you like the grading. What's fascinating is the two teams that got really good grades are them and the Jets.
And the Browns.
So you've got some bad teams. Now, listen, the Jags have been here before.
Yeah, did the Giants get a good grade? 'Cause I thought the Giants had probably the best.
You had a good draft. You picked in the top 5. Like, that's just part of it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not always part of it. I mean, they picked Carnell Tate, though, Tennessee, and people like that pick at 4. That felt like a reach on Friday morning.
Mr. Hugo in the chat says, hate to say it, but Tennessee might be the team to beat in the South.
What? Based on a draft?
Yeah, but then he also they signed Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner's son. Read the whole thing, Hamby. Would you relax?
Jeez. All right, let's see. Who else I got? Keldrick Falk, edge. They I think traded back up in the first round to get that with Buffalo. Anthony Hill, which everybody likes, and he goes to Tennessee.
Well, and that's going to be the thing, right? If you had to see him twice a year and all of a sudden he becomes like the next Bobby Wagner, then you feel pretty upset about yourself.
They got a guard, Fernando Carmona, as well, who was at San Jose State before Arkansas.
Okay.
Nick Singleton, a running back, as people know, Penn State.
Okay,
defensive tackle Jackie Marshall, center Pat Coogan. Is he Notre Dame? Yeah, Notre Dame guy. And Jared Mechanic, tight end. Oh, yeah, he went to Indiana as well. So, I mean, obviously you're grading this draft off the top 3 picks, I think. Keldrick Falk, Anthony Hill, and Carnell Tate. I mean, sure. I mean, should we be nervous about Tennessee and the AFC South in 2026 is the question.
I'm not.
I'm not either.
So many people, though, are just absurdly high on Cam Ward.
I didn't get my caffeine this morning. I'm going to go sleep with the Tennessee Titans a little bit again
Okay.
for another
Well,
year,
what's that,
Brett?
like the 5th straight year?
Yeah, well, I was doing it for the Reds, too, but we'll see,
Well, the problem is that
trend right now.
There are non-Tennessee fans. I'm not just saying they're but non-Tennessee fans who believe Cam Ward's going to be a top 10 quarterback. So, I mean,
you're too jump.
That's what I'm telling you. That is like one of the things that that keeps coming up over this offseason is this Cam Ward hype train that everybody's buying stock.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about that on Friday. I don't really buy it as much as everyone else, but hey, they might be right. I mean, they do have a quarterback that they like. So when you have a quarterback you like, we'll see how it works out. C.J. Stroud was supposed to be an MVP finalist every year. And now I think people are happy that they've got C.J. Stroud in Houston and not somebody else. Yeah. And listen, Trevor's gone through the ups and downs of that as well, where people almost wanted him out of town in October last year.
Yeah. And listen, what it comes down to for Ward is, does he have the skill position players to be successful? I think that's what it is, right? Like, I think he has shown that he's got the arm, he can make all the throws and everything, but like, does he have the guys around him to be successful? And okay, we'll see with Tate what that looks like. Who else do they have? Got Calvin Ridley,
Wandale Robinson.
Wandale Robinson.
$72 million.
Who's the running game? What do they got?
What's their running back?
Oh, it's the cat from Dallas, right?
Pollard?
Talking about
Did they
Tony
pick
Pollard?
up anybody else in
Ty Spears? Who do they got for running back?
Yeah, Ty Spears is still there.
And?
It is Pollard.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's what we're rolling with again?
That's what y'all are rolling with.
They did invest in the offensive line a little bit, in this draft, so we'll see. But, yeah, they got Pollard and Spears.
And Michael Carter. Old Jets.
I mean, Singleton actually could play a role there. He was a 5th-round pick in this draft.
Okay.
They got Jermaine Johnson
Okay.
on defense. And then John Franklin Myers, a big signing from Denver.
the front's going to be
right
pretty good.
with Simmons. Their front is good.
No, front's, I mean, anytime you got Jeffrey Simmons, like,
Him and John Franklin Myers back-to-back, I mean.
Right, Stephen F. Austin?
You would think the solid defense will be pretty good, right? I mean,
The Titans?
yeah.
Yeah, come on.
So it'll come down to their. Listen, they're better. They were pretty bad, though. I mean, they were pretty bad, so they'll be better. And I didn't even sniff like what Indianapolis did at all.
Dude, I don't even know. I didn't catch wind of any of it.
Well, they didn't have a first-round pick, so that kind of takes away.
Yeah, they went.
You know, I'm surprised I don't know what they did because I heard. You know why I don't know? Because Pat McAfee took away all their shine every single time he came out to announce their pick.
Yes, he did.
My guy.
They went C.J. Allen first, so that's going to be their middle linebacker of the future from Georgia. And that was at pick 53.
Of course, you like him.
Of course.
Safety from LSU in round 3, A.J. Halsey. Jalen Farmer, a guard. Brian Botcher, isn't that the guy you said? Baseball and football guy?
Yeah.
From Oregon?
Yep.
George Gums from Florida. Caden Curry.
Ohio State.
Yeah, probably nothing. Probably a little bit like the Jags. Like, again, they weren't picking in the first round, so you're going to be a little bit like the Jags in that sense.
I feel like Houston made me a little nervous, though, too, with their draft.
Yeah, especially that they got Caden McDonald.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? He's a little short, but kind of like Regis is.
Yeah.
They play defensive tackle, but the fact that he fell out of the first round.
So, yeah, they got Marlon Klein, a tight end as well out of Michigan.
I wonder if they would have taken.
They tried to beef up their offensive line. They need to do it because it's pretty bad. Houston sucks. Their D line was just add to it. So they make a strength even better potentially, and sooner or later they're obviously going to lose Danielle Hunter at some point down the road.
We got to give Puz a shout out too. By the way, I thought he did a great job, but like I don't think people really picked up on what happened, and I don't know if this is even true or not. So you know when the Bills had their pick, and Puz went up there with that guy, and I don't even know who the guy was now. I forgot his name. He's a Hall of Famer for the Bills. You know what I'm talking about?
I didn't see that.
Okay. Maybe if people in the chat can help me out here. So the Bills had their guy read the draft pick. And the first time that he read it by himself, I forgot who the selection was, but like he was having a hard time. He's an older guy.
Yeah.
And
I heard about that.
And he said 1996 instead of 2000 with the 1996 draft. So like it was kind of a bad look. Now whether maybe there's drinking, whether just old age, whatever. I don't want to speculate. But he was getting roasted on. I mean, I came across it because it was all over Twitter. Okay. So then the Bills make a trade, and I guess the guy that was from the Bills that was reading the picks was from Penn State. The Bills make a trade, so all of a sudden they're on the clock, and the pick is in 20 seconds, so he has to go up there. I'm pretty sure, and I haven't heard any word of this, but I assume from just watching the draft, I think Puz tried to help that guy out and said, hey, we got 2 Penn State guys up here. He read, like with the so-and-so pick, and then the guy read the guy's, the Bills guy read the guy's name. But I think Puz saw him struggling, trying to get through everything, and Puz went up there and helped him out, and then the guy read the name.
Yeah, Conlon was the, and I'd heard about that.
And I probably should have known the guy's name.
But that's cool. But that's typical Puz.
Well, no, listen, and that's why I want to highlight this, because I think, once again, there's no word about it, but I feel like Puz saw, and Shane Conlon was struggling a little bit. Puz got up there and said, hey, we got 2 Penn State guys up here. Want to come up here with them?
Yeah.
Puz does all the hard work. John Stockton, Karl Malone, Shane Conlon reads the name perfectly, and no one says anything about it.
Yeah, great stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there was this tweet said, I wanted to circle back and just point out what a classy move it was by Paul Posluszny to assist Shane Conlon on the announcement of the 62nd pick. Conlon struggled a bit with the Bills' 35th pick. Posluszny has always been a class act, Bills Mafia, and kind of cool it was with the Bills, too, because of Puz's, obviously, relationship with that organization over the years. So no surprise there from Paul Posluszny. He was busy, by the way, for not just that helping out, but also busy for the Jags that night. And, I mean, isn't it no surprise, but Puz looks like fantastic, too.
Duke play right now.
How much do you think? I was thinking of this. How much do you think Puz works out like now?
Every day.
But I'm saying, is he doing hot yoga like you're doing right now? Or is he like, because he doesn't look jacked. I mean, he looks like he's in really good shape.
I still think he's in that weight room, though, doing something, man. I just think like that's who he is.
Yeah, I know it.
I mean, yeah. You just can't walk. It's one thing, okay, like he loved football, right? Well, you can't play football forever, right? Because eventually your
By the
body
way,
breaks
he
down.
had a hard time with that.
Of
getting
course.
away from it.
Yeah.
Like, hard time.
But, like, I also think that he took great pride in being a workout warrior and everything. And the cool thing about lifting weights is like, maybe you can't do it in, like, a heavy capacity, but you can always try to stay in shape and take care of yourself. And I'm sure Puz is doing that.
You think, like, Puz is the guy that will run a marathon someday, do a triathlon someday? Like, is he that? What does he do to kind of, again, you can go to the weight room. A lot of people work out every day. I mean, you can do that. But what does he do to kind of work towards something?
Ripley brings up a good point. Is he trying to be a pilot still?
I don't know where that is. I haven't talked to Puz on that. You know, he works like a 9-to-5 gig.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got like a pretty heady job.
Mm-hmm.
With like a big company in kind of the national defense world.
See, that's the thing. So he's probably an aircraft pilot flying overseas and doing that. Yep, there it is.
That part is more.
Yep.
Now, that part is more on the.
That's what it is.
Like in the 9-to-5 world.
You sure?
But he might. I don't know where
that's
he is
a cover.
On pilot license stuff.
Yeah,
I knew he was getting it. I just don't know how much he flies.
Yeah.
Listen,
Dude's
I mean,
flying
really
F-16s defending our freedom.
He's not doing that.
It's all good.
He really spent a lot of time, obviously, being a dad too.
Yeah,
right? I think he's got a couple of girls, but
dude,
I don't know what he does. Like, I'm trying to think of that when you brought that up, and when I saw him this weekend, I was just like, man, what is triathlon? Maybe.
Every time I see him, I go, dude, you need a coach, and you need to let me know where you're going to coach at, because my son will be the first one to sign up.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll transfer if we have to. We'll move states.
He thought about that, I think.
Got okay with his mom. It's gonna be in Pennsylvania. Be like, hey, but by the way, I know we're co-parenting, but we're going to Pennsylvania. So go ahead and get your business underway because we're going to Pennsylvania.
You know, the guy, it makes me think of Don Davey, because Don Davey's former Jags player, and he's out at the beach, and he became like big. Did very well business-wise, I think, but he also is like a triathlete.
Oh,
and,
nice.
Yeah, like big time, and does really well. So, like, you should see. I think he might be around 60 years old now, but he's in fantastic shape. But like, Puz is going to be that guy to me. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Hey, a couple other things in the sports world over the weekend, whether you care or not. Alex Cora fired by the Red Sox.
See ya.
And now the Mets fans can't wait to get in line to fire their guy so they can go get Alex Cora.
What a joke.
I can't get over, by the way. Like, the Red Sox, the Phillies, and the Mets are so bad.
They're so bad.
And that's stunning because, again, it might not work out the way you want it to work out, even though you've invested heavily in your team. But they weren't supposed to be bad. I mean, they obviously were supposed to be pretty good. They were supposed to be able to be in contention. But to go from that to be bad, I don't know, how the heck did the Phillies lose 10 in a row with the team they have?
Because Bohm can't hit. And Nola's serving them up still. That one still shocks me. But the Mets doesn't shock me at all. I didn't have them making the playoffs or even really coming all that close to it. They're still trotting out freaking Luis Torrens and
didn't have that on its consensus board. Interesting.
and Tyrone Taylor. Like, those guys are not major league players. Sorry.
Yeah,
if they're in your starting lineup at all.
I didn't think they'd have 9 wins 30 games into the year.
Well, I mean, I didn't think they didn't have that either.
I mean, the Phillies and the Mets are 9-19.
They hot.
The White Sox have 11 wins.
Yeah, Chi-Town. Baby.
The Colorado Rockies have 13 wins.
They just swept the Mets.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, it's
the freaking Rockies.
By the way, the best division is your division, the Central.
I know, Central. Oh, yeah. And
everybody's got a winning record.
And on behalf of the Milwaukee Brewers pitching lab, I want to thank the Boston Red Sox for Kyle Harrison. 12 Ks yesterday for the Milwaukee Brewers.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Dude, they have gotten fleeced on like every move they made in the
Red
last
Sox?
3 years.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I think Cora's a pretty good manager. I don't know if this is a Cora problem. Maybe they needed a change.
Well, somebody said
their front office is a mess anyway.
The quote of the day, Austin, was somebody said this firing Cora is like bleeping your pants
changing
your shirt.
No, that's
that was a good quote.
Somebody did a breakdown of the Brewers Red Sox trades, Brent, from like the past 4 or 5 years. You aren't gonna like it.
It's not good.
I mean,
well, to Hamby's point, I don't know if there
are
are many trades that the Red Sox have won.
Sure.
Well, that's the whole deal.
And they used to win them all.
Yeah.
As soon as they went private equity, they've sucked.
They really
and unless you're like a big baseball fan, you probably have no idea. But that's the whole deal is they're worried about profit more than they ever, and since then their deals have sucked, and apparently at their press conference for Alex Core's firing, their guy didn't even show up. He just skipped it, John Henry. So
he did.
He skipped it.
There you go. Hey,
had a prom. Who knows?
He had a dance. At least a dinner.
Sorry,
he had at least had a dinner. Hey, can the Lakers get to the promised land,
dude?
I'm assuming they lost last night.
Yeah, they got beat last night.
Yeah, but they're up 3-1
that game. Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm not like the biggest. I mean, I like LeBron, obviously. I think it would have been game 3. Watching him and Bronny on the court at the same time, like, I got goosebumps, man.
Really?
Like, it was almost like must-see TV.
Is that what you played 45 minutes in that game?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I saw a clip of that alley-oop or whatever.
Yeah.
It's probably legitimately, guys, is literally one of the first NBA highlights I've seen in months.
Sure.
And I was like, holy cow. Like,
how crazy is that?
That's a lot cooler than I've even, I just haven't thought about it.
Did you get chills? Like
bro,
imagine throwing an alley-oop to your son.
Cool.
Yeah,
like,
the caption was like, this is literally his son. And I was like, damn.
Little boy blue, the man in the moon. Bronny throwing alley. Yeah, it's crazy, man.
That is pretty cool, and I wonder if that's like a good enough moment to get LeBron out the door, because that's kind of what he waited for.
I
like
feel
a
like
moment that, right?
I mean, you could easily walk away and nobody would bat an eye, but I think being LeBron James, we got to do the whole going away ceremony for every single NBA arena.
Yeah.
Brent, you know,
the opposite of the decision, the farewell. Anything? I mean, all these series, by the way, look. I mean, in the West are 3-1. Celtics going to roll.
Celtics.
Knicks Hawks tied 2-2. Cavs Raptors 2-2. Anything surprising in the NBA?
Nothing too. I mean, it's just like I've kind of been calling for it. The Celtics just seem like so ahead of everybody else in the East right now. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Lightning with a huge win. They were down 2-0 in that game, down 2-1. So if you're a Lightning fan, kind of was watching that one last night, and that series is all tied up now. Other than that,
I'll say this though.
What do you got? Stars and Wilds has been a pretty good series.
Crazy atmospheres though. Crazy hits. Dude got knocked out last night. A lot more fighting.
Why is it? Do you think?
Why is that?
Why is there more fighting?
Oh, I just think like the playoff, like the Stanley Cup playoffs, been ramped up now. I think honestly, like the Four Nations may have started a little bit way back in the day with like the fighting with when the puck dropped. And now you're seeing guys like get a little more froggy in terms of like going after players, and it's not just one team. Like it used to just be it's the Kachuk brothers causing problems. No, it's everybody now is doing their thing.
Yeah, because I keep hearing that. I think you said it a little bit, and I've seen some of it too, and it does seem ramped up. But the Stanley Cup Finals are always intense. I mean, the playoffs in hockey are always intense. But I just didn't know if it was what's driving this. Is it the fact that, I mean, the Kachuk brothers or whatever have had such claim to fame, or the Panthers did it the last couple of years, and that's what helped them win the Stanley Cup? So everybody's like, hey, we got to ramp this up. We got to be more physical. Was it something the league wanted a little bit to get eyeballs on it? Not sure.
I mean, honestly, my opinion, Brent, is like, and we talk about it all the time, in terms of playoff atmospheres, there's nothing like going to a hockey game during the playoffs, right? Well, you have teams that haven't been there in a bit. You have the Montreal Canadiens, who are a very proud franchise, who are back in it. You have the Ottawa Senators, who I call the Arizona Cardinals in terms of relevancy, but they're kind of forgotten about. Like, I feel like all these, and then the Buffalo Sabres, and you have guys in rollerblades showing up and punching dummies and everything. Like, it's just, I think you're getting a lot more teams now that haven't really been there for a while. The Anaheim Ducks, another example, and the teams are feeding off the crowd energy.
Yeah.
And that's what I think.
I'll give you this too, by the way. I'll give you Penguins Flyers are in a series in the opening round. So you got two Pennsylvania teams. So that's going to do it too.
Listen, I'm not going to tell you to watch any hockey game, but like next time, if it's the evening and you have a chance to watch the Montreal Canadiens crowd, just turn it on for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And see how crazy they get.
Well, in general, just watch that series because they're jacked up about it. Rip just said, hey, look, they're beating the heck out of each other. I was watching it a bit last night. Yeah. And then we know Tampa's crowd.
Of course.
When they're at, I mean, the Lightning crowd is insane. So, yeah, it's great theater, as we say, but I do think it was different in terms of everything we've been hearing about the physicality of it. And I was just curious the why. And it's good. I mean, I think it's good for the sport because we're talking about it, but I think that helps get attention. You're going to see those clips on social media, and you might tune in to watch it. Not a bad thing.
No, without a doubt, it's not a bad thing at all.
One other thing, by the way. You guys sent me a couple of deals over the weekend. The WWE losing all of its people.
They're just doing cuts.
What's
Yeah.
happening? Is that normal?
That's normal. That's normal.
It is normal. Now, some of the people that are getting cut, people are making a big deal about, but like it's pretty common that there's always there's no rhyme or reason when it is.
Okay.
But usually, if one person gets cut, usually 5.
You sounded surprised though.
By a couple of them, yeah.
Alistair Black.
Well, Alistair Black getting cut was crazy, but also it's sad because Bray Wyatt's brother. If you know who Bray Wyatt was, we talked a lot about that. He passed away.
Okay.
And then his brother kind of took over the mantle and started and kept on with this faction. Well, his brother's faction, and including his brother, all got let go, which is kind of sad. So,
any will we see them in AEW? Is there some of that where you just go get some of those?
Yeah,
guys?
yeah. I'm sure Tony actually, because you can't really get one of them. I feel like you have to get they're called the Wyatt Six.
Okay.
So you might bring them all through, and if they want to keep Bray's memory alive, which I assume Tony Khan would want to.
I know the reaction coming out of WrestleMania wasn't good.
Nope.
How about does this continue the bad news trend, or is it just people are going to get cut because it happens every year?
It doesn't help the bad news.
Oh,
trend.
It doesn't?
Well, no, because once again, I don't know
with that sentimental one, that's the one, right?
Well, that's what. There's also a girl by the name of Kyrie Sane actually had one of her T-shirts. She got let go as well. People are upset about that. Listen, and this is what people got to understand real quick. This is what the business is now, right? And I said it before, it's not necessary for me, and I understand that, but they're still making more money than ever. They're still getting all the viewership. It's just it's going in a different direction, and I don't like the direction that it's going in. And I think the hardcore fans are being disappointed by it. But their product right now isn't being catered to the hardcore fans. It's being catered to the casuals who want to go on Twitter, on Instagram, watch a clip, and then click on it. That's what it is.
Why do people get cut in wrestling? Is it because they're not as popular, they're older, or they're too expensive? I'm assuming those are 3 of the categories.
Yeah.
In this case, what would you say?
Biggest thing is crowd reaction and popularity.
Okay.
I would say now
Kinda
contracts. Well, some of these contracts were up, and they want to bring them back.
Yeah.
Because they probably asked for more money.
Yeah. There's that. It's always going to be the case in whatever it is. All right. A lot of draft talk today here on the show. Obviously, the first hour and 15 minutes or so with the Jags and really dissecting it. Get into more of it as the week goes along. Here's the Jags draft class. And I always appreciate people get really excited about some of the back-end players and the undrafted free agents. And I think the player that we really didn't talk about today at all, but a lot of folks excited about Josh Cameron and what he can do. And some people think he's an automatic guy to make the team. I think the Jags prioritize some red zone help with the tight ends and a guy like Cameron that could maybe make an impact in that part of the field. And the Jags were already good in the red zone last year, but it's obvious they would like to continue that trend and get even more dynamic and better there as well. So more about the draft, of course, all week. Next big thing in the NFL, the schedule release, which will be coming out in a couple of weeks, and we can set our calendars. Have a great Monday, everybody. See you tonight on TV, CBS 47 and Fox 30. Thanks for hanging with us.